So before Wolverine was announced yesterday by Insomniac Games and Spider-Man 2, which is coming out in 2023, we already were shaping up to have a fantastic couple of years for superhero video games. I mean, we have Guardians of the Galaxy coming out in October. That should be a really fun game. Will definitely be better than Marvel's Avengers. We have, obviously, Gotham Knights coming out next year. We have Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League coming out next year as well. So both of those games dropping. And then in 2023, we're going to have Spider-Man. 2024, 2025, probably Wolverine. On top of all of that, that's not even counting the other WB Games Montreal game, which might get announced at DC Fandom. We know they're working on a second title, and Gotham Knights is just one of the two. So, I mean, we're really living in probably the peak of superhero video games as a genre, which is crazy to say because obviously many of us thought after Batman Arkham Knight that we would probably never get back to that place again. Maybe not. The thing with video games is that they're so dependent upon the rate of technological progression, right? Like if you play a video game from 40 years ago, it's not great compared to what we have now. And you even see that just in the time frame from Arkham Asylum to Arkham Knight of 6 years, you can see the improved technology in regards to the graphics, the gameplay flow. So many different factors are at play, and obviously, technology has a huge impact on all of that. My question for you in this video is, what games are you most excited for out of the aforementioned games? Again, Wolverine, Spider-Man 2, on the Marvel side. Those are the big heavy hitters. I would say the third out of those two would be Guardians of the Galaxy, which comes out in a little over a month. Additionally, on the DC side, we have 3 titles. We have an unannounced WB Games Montreal video game. Nobody knows what it is. There have been rumors that it's been everything from Superman to Green Arrow. Nobody really knows. But Superman wouldn't surprise me at all. That would obviously be lit if that was announced. And then obviously, of course, Gotham Knights, which has been heavily anticipated now for almost a decade, since Arkham Origins came out in 2013. So many of us have been waiting for that game for so long. It's now almost to the point where we don't even care what the game is. We just want to play it. Not quite. Obviously, the quality matters, and we want the game to be good. But it really is getting close to that point wherein I want to get my hands on it, And so hopefully that's going to drop in early to mid 2022. No promises, obviously, but that would be fantastic. And then looking on the Rocksteady side, they have Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League, which, out of all of those 6... I've seen for a lot of people has kind of rated maybe a little bit lower for some fans. And, I understand that because Suicide Squad is not as big of an IP as, say, Wolverine, say, the Bat Family with Gotham Knights. But personally speaking, I'm incredibly excited for that game. And the reason why is because Rocksteady is just the best at gameplay, probably out of anybody in the whole industry. I would easily put them up there at number 1 and probably Insomniac at number 2 in regards to superhero video game gameplay. And wow, I'm kind of getting gassed on this walk while talking. This is just how out of shape I am, In LA, I used to go on walks all the time, and since I moved here to Nashville, I have slacked on it, so I'm getting a little short of breath. But no, I'm really excited for all these games. Again, those are just 6 that I outlined right there. There are more probably that we don't know about. But I really want to know from your perspective, what are you most excited for out of those 6 games? Again, my guess for most people, this is just my guess, is that Guardians of the Galaxy rates probably a little lower, probably in the 5 or 6 range for most people. I think that even Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League, even though my audience is heavy DC, heavy into Rocksteady. I kind of have a feeling that would be towards the lower third, or half of those. I would probably personally put that game at around the 3 spot. I will say that Wolverine, I'm really excited for it. I would put that in the top 3. I would put Gotham Knights at number 1, and maybe I'd put Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League higher. Perhaps that's too harsh to put it at 3. But Spider-Man 2 looks really good. I think Spider-Man 2 is going to be phenomenal. I mean, incorporating Venom, incorporating Miles Morales into the main story, and Insomniac just did such a great job with the first one. I really think that we're just at the beginning of what they can do and seeing what they can do with this universe. And just like with Spider-Man 2, the movie, I mean, that was the best out of the three. And I honestly think that, by the way, in the Batman Arkham games, Batman Arkham City is the best out of the three, right? So I really feel that this is going to be one of the best superhero video games ever made. I really do. I think it's going to be one of the best. Additionally, just incorporating the co-op elements, I really liked how in the first one we got to play as Miles Morales, but I think playing as Miles as Spider-Man is going to be a lot more fun than those shitty stealth missions, because that was one of the big drawbacks in terms of the gameplay for me, was the MJ gameplay bits and the Peter Parker, Miles Morales gameplay bits. They weren't great. I know that they've done that a lot in the past, even with Ratchet and Clank. They would have little side missions where you just play as Clank, you know, and I thought those were fun. Those are some of my favorite missions in Ratchet and Clank, but for whatever reason, they just didn't work very well in the 2018 game. But yeah, man, they've had 5 years to work on it. I think it's going to be a phenomenal game. I really do. And so that one's got to be in the top three. Wolverine has got to be in there. But Gotham Knights for me is number one. I think that Gotham Knights is just a game that they've been working on for so long. It's something that's unlike we've ever seen before, wherein my big critique, as many of you know, throughout all the Batman Arkham games, is we just don't get enough time with the Bat family. We don't get enough time to understand who they are as characters and really get to relate with them. And now they've totally flipped that, and now we're going to feel like we don't have enough time with Batman, right? But I think it's a good thing. It's what I asked for. I asked for this. I asked to get more of Batgirl and Nightwing and Robin and Red Hood in the next game, and we're getting that to the max. Okay, to be fair, and I understand that some people will be turned off by that they took that feedback and really ran with it. Not saying they listened to me, but you know, a lot of people said that about that. Like, that's a very well-known complaint about the Arkham games. So, additionally, I think in terms of the plot, I think it has the most potential, actually, out of all 6 games. I think that the sort of thriller, mystery, almost horror elements with the Court of Owls are going to be really, really cool. And again, we don't even know the extent to which Batman or the Joker or these other people are involved. We know Penguin's confirmed. We know Two-Face is confirmed. We know that Mr. Freeze is confirmed. So I'm super excited for that game as well. I think that it's going to be great. And, you know, even with any delay sucks. Nobody likes a game that they're looking forward to get delayed. But the reality of it is that this is going to give them more time to create a phenomenal game. And fundamentally, that's what we want. We want another Arkham caliber game that we think is worthy of being a follow-up to that. And it's better that they take their time with it and give us that product. And I'm feeling really good about WB Montreal and their ability to do that. I certainly have some concerns and thoughts with the gameplay primarily, and with the gameplay more in the farming and looting aspects of like the level system, and just making sure it's not too much of a Destiny like grind sort of game. But I think as long as they can avoid that, I think they're going to be in great shape. So let me know what you guys think about this video in the comment section down below. If you enjoyed, be sure to give it a thumbs up, subscribe to this channel, and ring the notification bell. My name is Slickmoth. See you guys in the next video. Peace out.